I can see the CAN drive cameras. I'm afraid that my 77th Davis camera might have taken some sort of, I don't know, lightning or something to end its day. So I'm going to start here in about 1 minute. Find the one more graphic. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start here, Isaac. So we've got severe storm watch for much of northeast Kansas going until 10 p.m. I don't see any severe storm warnings right now in northeast Kansas. The greatest concern at the moment is just extreme rain. Manhattan's officially already seen more than 2 inches of rain and still coming down. So Manhattan is likely to see something in the neighborhood of 4 inches of rain, or maybe even a little more by tomorrow. Here's a look live at I-70 near K99, and you're looking along I-70 where the extreme heavy rain is falling right now. That's at the Alma exit, looking a little farther west. That's I-70 west of K99, and some of these cameras pointing straight down. I think that KDOT sometimes looks down to see how bad things are with the extreme rain, if it's flooding in that area, but right now they have some of those pointing downward. So again, from the Capitol Federal Live Storm Tracker, we are seeing extremely heavy rain in many areas. In Topeka, so far the rain is not coming down heavily, but you can see right there at 77th and Davis Road, and I am happy to see that camera is alive. I was concerned a moment ago because it was completely dark. Sometimes when that happens, it means that the camera is taken some sort of damage, and sometimes they take a long time to get back. Of course, so seeing extremely heavy rain there at 77th and Davis Road, and that's not the view I left it on, so it defaults back to pointing at the tower to let me know it's been off for a moment. So extremely heavy rain there. Probably had some lightning striking there around the tower is my guess, is why it was pointing down like that, but you can't see very far with that extreme rain that's falling in this. So at the WIBW transmission tower, that's just to the south of Maple Hill, and you can see the storm clouds there. One of these just passed over the transmission tower. Here's another one. If you look straight to the west-southwest there, you can see the downpour of rain just to the west of the transmission tower, where the horizon kind of vanishes from the extreme downpour there. So there's several of these in the area, and again, no severe storm warnings right now, but there is a flash flood warning that does include parts of Riley County over to Gary County, where we've seen as much as 2.5 to 4 inches of rain already. On the radar, you can see another extremely heavy shower there near Eskridge at this point. That's moving to the northeast, kind of going toward Maple Hill and St. Mary's as well. Silver Lake will see a lot of that, probably Rossville too, as we zoom out more. Some of these downpours are worse than they look on radar, as a matter of fact. What happens on a day like this is the Weather Service will set their radar to kind of a different sensitivity, if you will. So if the radar looked like this in November, it would be one level of rain. But if it's a downpour day like this, the color table kind of represents something that's more extreme. So you see areas that's red, that's just all out downpours in some spots. Looking closer into Topeka, again, most of the city is dry at this point. You can see that downpour just west of Topeka. That's up towards 77th and Davis Road from the Menninger Hill camera, but most of Topeka hasn't seen a drop of rain just yet, but it's on the way. And let's check out, again, that's the view from 77th and Davis. So as far as the supercast goes this evening, we'll continue to see extremely heavy rain, not just one round. Now, if we go to 11 p.m. here, you'll see it looks like things may calm down to the west. Clay Center, Concordia. It just kind of looks like the system where you have one line of storms that's kind of done with. So keep in mind where that is right there. Now, to roll this forward, you'll see more stuff fills in back to the west. So what that represents is not necessarily exactly the timing of the rain. What that represents, I want you to keep in mind, is there'll be more rounds of storms that develop behind this first round. So what we have out there right now is absolutely not the end of the storm. We're going to have several rounds of rain. We have the potential for seeing flash flooding for many of us tonight through tomorrow morning, and some spots have already seen in excess of 3 inches of rain. That's the report that came in a little while ago from Manhattan at the airport. The airport just to the west of town, and at the airport, the report there is 2.29 inches of rain, but the area of red, a little farther to the west there, that's as much as 4 inches of rain that have fallen just north of Highway 70 across parts of Fort Riley. All right, let's check out the cameras again. This is the KDOT, and you can see the downpours there along I-70. That's near K-99, and as we go a little farther to the east, there's Auburn Road. So Auburn Road is not raining at this point at all, just kind of right on the edge of it, but just if you drive about 2 miles down the highway to the west, you can see the extreme rain that's in areas like Maple Hill, Rossville, and again right there just east of K-99, that's where downpours in place now. And then getting over to just west of K-99, also seeing downpours there as well. So checking out the radar again, we don't have severe storm warnings in place, but we do have a flash flood warning for parts of Riley County and Gary County. I'll show you the Doppler radar estimates of how much rain has fallen there. And that total we had of 2.29 from Manhattan is, again, from the airport, which is just west of town. And, you know, I really think that some parts of town in Manhattan probably have 3 inches of rain or more, and this is not done with, just is, you know, kind of just starting. So Manhattan's almost sure to get more rounds of heavy rain, and the idea that Manhattan could have over 5 inches of rain by the time this is done with is a pretty good guess. So there's the flash flood warning, goes till midnight tonight for a big chunk of Gary County and Riley County. The area of yellow there is the highest, that's at 4 inches of rain or more, but in Manhattan, that dark area of green is where you're going to have, it's already had at least 2.29 there for the folks around the airport. So right there in town, again, the number is probably going to be a little bit, well, close to at least 3.1 showing up downtown. Just to the northeast of Fort Riley and Ogden, you've got some spots there with about 4 inches of rain and still coming down. So again, I don't think that this is done with. That's just kind of the beginning. And again, this has been isolated. This is not everybody seeing rain at this point so far, but these rounds of rain will continue to spread across the area this evening and tonight. The rain chances really taper off tomorrow in the afternoon, but between now and noon tomorrow, there will continue to be these rounds of just soaking downpours that will continue across northeast Kansas. So we'll zoom out on the radar here and kind of give you an idea of the coverage. And this isn't everybody getting downpours at one time, but just where it's coming down, it's extremely heavy. Out in western Kansas, we got severe storm warnings. There's one for the Barton, Russell County areas, and then one in western Kansas there for Finney County as well. And we do have the severe storm watch that covers a big chunk of northeast Kansas this evening. And it is for hail the size of quarters and winds to 60, but it's not a tornado risk or anything like that. And it's not high-end severe weather. But you will see downpours, and we are likely to see at least a few flash flood warnings out of this tonight through tomorrow. So if you have to be on the roads tomorrow, make sure you use a lot of caution. And turn around, don't drown is one of those sayings from the National Weather Service that just seems super simple, but you know, it's something that really could save your life if you're driving toward floodwater. You know, if you go through, it doesn't take very much to actually sweep a car off the roadway, and once that happens, then you're at the mercy of the elements. So don't let yourself be in that situation. Just turn around, don't drown. Again, it sounds super simple, but you know, again, that decision could save your life. And really, something I've noticed before when I have dealt with floodwater myself is if you wait just a couple of minutes, many times it just goes down. So if you just wait a few minutes, you know, maybe 15 minutes or 20, instead of taking an hour detour or whatever it might be, if you just wait a few minutes, you might be able to drive through there. So again, that's near 70th and Davis, and you can see water running across the road there. You know, I'm not saying that's a super dangerous spot there or anything, but you can just see that the water ponding there, making for a you know a very soggy situation, and that would be a difficult road for a lot of cars to get down right now, probably without getting stuck. So keep that in mind too. All right, so again, we don't have any severe storm warnings in the area. It is a severe storm watch that goes until midnight for a big part of the area, and we probably won't see a whole lot of severe storm warnings this evening. If we do see severe storm warnings, this is the kind of stuff where you can just stay inside and probably be fine. But you know, the risk of seeing tornadoes is very, very low. I always hesitate to say zero for a risk, but you know, the risk of seeing tornadoes is extremely unlikely this evening or tonight. But the likelihood of seeing flash flooding is very significant. So for folks around Holton, Mayetta, You have extremely heavy rain moving towards you. It is not there yet, but it will be soon. So here's a view there from Banner Creek Science Center, kind of to the southwest of the city of Holton, as dark clouds are moving in toward Holton, and you'll get this downpour soon. Here's a live view from Wamego, from the folks at Wamego Telecom. You can see the extremely heavy rain falling there in town. I don't have a rain report from a lot of spots just yet because the rain, the rain's still falling, and you're not going to have a lot of people running out there grabbing rain gauges and downpours to let you know what's going on. But tomorrow morning, when the CoCoRaHS data comes in, I am sure we're going to have some spots with at least 5 inches of rain that have fallen from this evening through tomorrow morning. So around Manhattan, we already saw that extreme rain earlier, and you can see kind of taking a break right now as you look to the west. That view is from the Manhattan campus of Stormont Vale. So looking to the west there, you can see kind of a break in the storm for a moment, even some sunshine peeking through. But Manhattan's already seen a lot of rain. And again, I really think Manhattan's going to see more rounds of this evening and tonight. And, the chance of seeing flash flooding there is significant since you already have 2.5 or 3 inches of rain that have already fallen, and you're going to have more come down on top of that. So the ground's already saturated and soggy, and it's a high likelihood that folks around Manhattan will be dealing with some flash flooding tonight and tomorrow. There's already the flash flood warning that's in place there, but I'm telling you guys, around Manhattan, the Little Apple areas around Junction City and Fort Riley, Ogden, you guys are almost sure to see more extreme rain this evening and tonight, and your flash flooding situation is going to return. So right there around Manhattan, please use a lot of caution. If you have to be on the roads, just don't drive through floodwater, please. You're going to have some flash flooding. It could get dangerous, especially after the sun goes down, where you can't really see what you're driving through. So around Manhattan, let's check out the flash flood warning that's in place. That purple area includes Manhattan, Keats, Milford, Fort Riley, Ogden, Junction City. And again, we've seen as much as 4 inches of rainfall in some of these areas, and I really expect to see more rain coming through those same spots as the evening rolls on. So just be aware around Manhattan, Ogden, Fort Riley, Junction City. I'm telling you that this evening, as more rounds of heavy rain come in, you will be very likely to see flash flooding become a problem probably several times over, as this won't just be one round of rain. You're going to probably see 3, 4, maybe 5 rounds of rain going across areas there in Riley County. So again, zooming back in here close to Topeka, we have not seen rain in the capital city just yet. It's been heavy rain just to the west and northwest of town. And we'll check out the camera there from 77th and Davis Road again. And just from looking at the puddles there on the road, it's almost sure that that area's seen at least an inch of rain, probably more than that. But the area there at 77th and Davis Road, or 78th and Davis Road in the northwest part of Shawnee County, again, we'll just kind of zoom in here on the gravel road there, right at the foot of the communication tower, and you can see the water standing there on that road. There are a lot of vehicles that would not do so well trying to get through that. So if you do have to travel this evening, just keep in mind. I'm not saying this is high-end flooding or anything like that, but this is just a sign that of how soggy it is across the area. And we're likely to see more of these downpours this evening and tonight. So again, that's at 78th and Davis Road. But folks around Manhattan, you've already seen at least 2.5 to 4 inches of rain there in Manhattan, and you're going to see more. I am very sure that you'll see more rain coming out of this evening there in Manhattan. I'm going to check out the KDOT cameras again here along I-70. Again, we have extreme rain still falling there. So that's going to be this one. And we'll check out what Can Drive has. And between near Highway 99 is where the worst of this has been over the last hour or so. So now even the Auburn exit on the west side of Topeka has been dry. We haven't seen any rain make it that far to the east just yet, but likely through the evening it will continue making its way farther and farther. So there's the Deep Creek Road exit. It's dry. Just to the west of Highway 99, the rain has ended there for the moment. There's I-70, the Alma exit, very soggy. And then getting just east of 99, you can see the ditch over here on the right is full of water at this point. That rain has ended there, at least for the moment. But then near the Auburn Road exit, the rain has come to an end at least, the rain has not even started there at the Auburn Road exit. So how about St. George there? Near Flush Road on Highway 24. Everything is soggy from that first round of rain that moved through there. And near Mayetta, this is where the storm is getting closer. And not sure if that one's going to load from KDOT sometimes. This one doesn't do so well. That's near, that's the Prairie Band Casino exit is what that is on Highway 75. And sometimes that one doesn't feed in. So in this case, maybe it's not going to. So again, very heavy rain there moving back toward areas like St. Mary's, Rossville, and Silver Lake. You're going to see another round of this. This activity right here with a hole in it, if you see that circle, that's what the Doppler radar is. So if you ever see that circle on radar, that's what it is. The radar just can't see as well right above itself. So the worst data it has is what's right straight above it because it just doesn't tilt up. So if you see those holes in radar, that's what that is. But again, Mayetta up to Holton, you have extremely heavy rain moving your way. Topeka, we will be looking down south to see if rain starts developing to the south and pushes into town. But pretty amazing that Topeka so far has stayed out of these downpours. We'll check out the Doppler radar estimates, and you'll see it's not everybody that's seen heavy rain so far, but just kind of a couple bullseyes where the numbers are impressive. Again, a flash flood warning there around Manhattan, Junction City until midnight. But in Topeka, looking at the Doppler radar estimates there, nothing in town. Silver Lake over to Rossville, showing it's less than I think has happened. I think we've seen more rain in the area than that. So the Doppler radar estimate is not showing an amount that makes much sense there. But the cutoff there from a lot of rain to no rain is pretty sharp just west of Topeka at this point. But around St. Mary's, the area of green, I'll bet that's more than an inch showing up here on the radar estimates. Let's check it out. 2.3. Okay, so there we go. We got 2.3 right there. And then if we go a little farther to the southwest, how about this? That's 0. That's not right. There's a 0.2. Those numbers don't make any sense to me. So it's got a real drop off there. I think it's more extreme than is really going on. But that 70th and Davis Road area, where we have those puddles outside the WIBW camera there, certainly looks like we've had a significant rain, probably an inch or more. Now we're seeing more development up here across Clay County. As I back this up, that is, let's check the time, 6:42. So that's 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago there was nothing, and you can see it all fill in right there near Morganville over to Aurora. So this went from absolutely nothing 20 minutes ago. Let's back it up again. There you go. Back to 20 minutes ago, almost exactly there. So just nothing. And you roll it forward, and that is rain that's coming down at an inch per hour or worse. So that's going to be moving toward Lynn, Barnes, Washington, Blue Rapids. And it's not racing ahead very fast or anything like that, but just absolute all-out downpours is what you're going to see there across the southern part of Washington County shortly. It's already raining heavily there in the northern part of Clay County and the northern parts of Riley County as well. And that extreme rain is going to be drifting northward into Washington County shortly. Another downpour here showing up at the WIBW transmission tower. I'm going to check this one out. You'll see how heavy this rain is and how you can't see very far. So if you're going to be on the roads tonight, keep in mind that there are downpours just like this. And that's the WIBW transmission tower that is about 5 miles south of southwest of Maple Hill is where it's located. And as we turn, that's toward the tower itself, and you can barely see more than about a half mile in that extreme rain. So if you're out dealing with that on the highways, then that can be dangerous. So if you got to be on the roads, again, just be aware there's going to be some downpours here and there, and turn around, don't drown. If you do encounter flood water, certainly go around it. Let's check out go back to KDOT again. This is along I-70 at just to the east of the K99 exit. And again, you can see the ditch there on the right side is full of water. And the heavy rain just kind of kicked in there again, while just west of the exit, it's not so heavy at the moment. But again, these rain showers really are coming in extremely heavy. It's just not everywhere at one time. So we'll see more flash flooding risk this evening, most likely. We have a severe storm watch that's in place for most of northeast Kansas until 10 p.m. The flash flood warning that's in place that includes Manhattan and Junction City goes until midnight. And I do want to mention again, this thing that developed in the last couple minutes here across the eastern part of Cloud County and over into the northern part of Clay County, you can expect to see more of that kind of stuff. We're going to continue to see storms developing. You're not going to have it just in one place, and just kind of be able to track the one batch of storms to the evening. This is going to be stuff that develops, becomes very heavy quickly, and they could cause flash flooding in some spots and then move on to other locations. But there's going to be a lot of people that will see extremely heavy rain out of this evening and late tonight. The heaviest rain should be done with by noon tomorrow, but I do expect to see more flash flooding risk across the area. So there's the look from Concordia, from Clyde County Community College, off to the southeast toward that heavy storm that's in place. But there's also heavy rain that looks like it's almost into Concordia, coming from the other direction as well. Let's go ahead and check that out again. So kind of to the southwest of Concordia, this downpour. Yeah, it might just be right over the school. I think that's just right over the school is what I'm seeing. Yeah, that's what it is. It's just so close to it, I can't see it that well on the camera. So bring up the camera again and kind of looking off to the east-southeast there across the city. That's some of the heavier rain from Clay County that's moving up into Washington County at this point. So again, that batch of rain right there in the northern part of Clay County and northern Riley County, that's going to produce more than an inch of rain, almost certainly, for folks in the southern part of Washington County, northern parts of Clay County, northern Riley as well. That's coming down an inch per hour or more. And let's see what we've got there, if it's got some data yet. It's the area just between Clifton and Morganville, almost an inch of rain that's fallen in just really the last 20 minutes. So that's extremely heavy rain. You're probably going to see a flash flood warning issued there shortly, if not a flood advisory. So again, we have a severe storm watch going until 10 p.m. for much of the area, a flash flood warning for Riley and Gary County until midnight, and I do expect to see extreme rain falling across much of northeast Kansas on and off through noon tomorrow. I'll go back across the radar here and show you Supercast, and then I'm going to break this off and we'll join you again at 8:30 in the live stream on WIBW.com. So again, at this moment, Topeka is kind of avoiding the heaviest of the rain for now, but later this evening it will overspread the area on and off. This isn't one batch of storms. That's 8 o'clock in the computer model. You can see how it lines it up. And don't just look at exactly where it is, because this isn't a linear storm that you can just kind of track where it is at one moment and look forward and find it in another spot, that's moving nice and orderly in the same speed. What we'll have here is areas developing kind of behind the main area. So there's a line at 11 o'clock. But then at 2 a.m., all the stuff kind of fills in back here to the west. And again, these are not exact. This is just showing you that it continues to develop over and over again. So this is not going to be one line that moves through and we're done with it at some certain time. But by noon tomorrow, the storm should be out of here, certainly by noon or maybe 3 p.m. at the latest, with temperatures tomorrow likely topping out near 90 degrees. Again, the flash flood warning continues until midnight for much of Riley County and Gary County. We've seen about 2 to 4 inches of rain that have fallen from Manhattan to Junction City. The severe storm watch goes till 10 p.m. I don't want the severe storm watch to scare anybody. Hail the size of quarters or wind gusts to 60 is possible, but really now the rain's becoming more widespread. The risk of seeing those higher end, the risk of seeing quarter size hail or winds to 60, that's not as high now as it was when the watch was issued. And the risk of tornadoes here is virtually zero. But I do expect to see downpours of rain. I expect to see some flash flooding this evening across the area. And I just encourage you to make sure you're using a lot of caution around floodwater. Don't let the kids play in the floodwater. Don't drive through floodwater. More than half of the deaths we have every year from flash flooding, are in vehicles. More than half the people that lose their lives in flash flooding are from cars. And if you think about it, you're driving into it. Some people don't see it. But other people make a decision when they see floodwater to drive through it. They think they can make it. So just remember, before you drive into floodwater or flash flooding, keep in mind that more than half the deaths that happen in flash flooding are in cars. So in many of those cases, if somebody saw it, if it's nighttime, if it's not like Jacob Creek, I don't want to, call out everybody and say that, everybody did this. But the folks in Jacob Creek, I can't remember what year that was, just southwest of Emporia. That was late at night. It was dark. It was part of I-70 that truly nobody would have thought that area of road would be underwater. So an incident like that, is certainly different. But there are a lot of cases where flash flooding is running across a roadway and somebody thought, I can make it, and they don't. So just keep in mind, if you drive through flash flooding, you're making a decision, with your safety. And if your family's in the car, you think about them too. So just, and I've done this myself. It was a couple of years ago driving home. I lived by Lake Shawnee. And there were flash flooding right with my house and running across the road. And I thought, I've got a Jeep, okay, I won't do it. I tell people all the time, turn around, don't drown, turn around, don't drown. And I thought, if I wind up in this floodwater after I said all this, then, I'm going to be a national news story if I don't make it, for sure. That happened to the weather guy that kept saying this. And sure enough, the next day I went back and examined that road, and all the dirt was gone. All that was left was just the pavement, and all the dirt and the culvert had been rinsed away or eroded away under the road I was about to drive across with my Jeep. So that wouldn't have helped me. The Jeep wouldn't have helped me at all in that situation. I just would have looked stupid, and I would have been hurt at best case. So just keep in mind, turn around, don't drown. I follow the same guidance. Most cases, if you have flash flooding going across a road, if you wait 30 minutes, a lot of times it goes down. It does not take 2 days for flash flooding in most cases to go away. It usually is gone in just a few minutes. Then you can examine it and figure out if you're safe to go around. Or if you can take a detour that's, take less than 10 minutes, try that. But I just encourage you to just don't drive through the flood water and be very cautious at night, because you may not see it when you're driving toward it. All right, I'm going to break off the live stream here. Thanks for joining us here on Facebook, WIBW.com, and YouTube for this live stream. I'll see you at 8:30. I'll be in there with the news team for the update there. And of course, I'll see you on 13 News at 10.